Today I'm going to show you how to use picture position lens memory function on the Epson home cinema projectors so that you can use a 2.35 screen, fill the entire screen with image when you're showing cinema content and show 16 by 9 with the black bars either side of the screen. As an extra bonus, I'm going to show you how to set it up so you can do it for Netflix with smaller bars as well.
I'm using the EH-LS 11000 for this demonstration, but it works exactly the same on the EH-LS 12000, and you can also do this setup on the EH-TW 9400, but the menu system looks a little bit different. Before you start looking at the picture position lens memory function, make sure that your projector is pointing directly at the screen and not angled up or down in any way. You want to use the lens shift rather than any keystone correction, as this gives a better quality image. So to start with, make sure your lights are on so you can see the edges of your screen, and then find a bright static image in 16 by 9 aspect ratio. Okay, let's get started. First, find the pattern button on the remote control, and then you're going to select the display position pattern. Now hit the lens button on the remote control, and you're going to use the shift and the zoom and the focus to position the image on the screen. Now the idea here is to just skim the edges of the screen with those little white bars. Now we're going to position the image onto the middle of the screen. Now if you don't get this exactly right, we can adjust this again later. So we're now going to add the blanking, which will mean that we're cropping the top and the bottom of the image. This is done by going into the menu, into the installation settings and blanking. We want to blank the top and the bottom of the image so that it's not overshooting our screen. Now I find it's easier if you overshoot slightly and then come back onto the screen. So as you can see here, it's not quite even. I've got a bit more blanking on the bottom to the top. So what I'm going to do is even this out. So I'm going to make both of them at 270, and then we'll readjust the image using the shift function to bring that back into the middle. So now I'll go back to that lens function, choose shift. I'm just going to move that image so it's properly central. Once this is done, we're going to find the memory button on the remote control. And we choose lens position, and then we're going to save memory. Now I'm going to put this into memory 2 so that our Cinemascope is in memory 2. Okay, once this is done, we're now going to set the 16 by 9 position. So first thing to do is back into the menu, into the installation area, and remove that blanking. Once that's done, go to the pattern button and that display position again. And now we're going to use the shift and zoom function and focus to put the whole of the image on screen with black bars to the left and right. Once you've found the position, it's really important to make sure you do the focus again, as you want a sharp image for every picture position. Once this is done, we're going to exit out of that. And we're going to save this position. So again, we go to the memory button on the remote control. We choose the lens memory or the lens position function. And we're going to save this into memory 1. Now let's press the lens 2 button on the remote control. And this should put us into that Cinemascope position. So as you can see, it's adjusting the position automatically. And at the very end, it puts the blanking on. And now we're going to press the lens 1 button to check the 16 by 9 position. So it zooms the image, and then at the end takes that blanking off, so we're filling the whole screen again. Next thing to do, go back to that memory, and this time we're going to rename those memories. So lens memory 1, I'm going to call that 16:9. You could rename this as TV or sport or whatever. And lens position 2, I'm going to rename that 2.35:1. Or you could name it movie mode, or whatever you like really, whatever's easiest for you to remember. Now let's see how this looks with the lights off, so we can no longer see the edges of the screen. So with the lights off, you can see that the image is perfectly in the middle, and then we hit the lens position 2 button, and we're going to fill the entire screen for our movie function. And just to make sure that's working, we'll go back the other way as well, pressing the lens 1 button. And that's set up there. Okay, put the lights back on. And we've now set up our 2 picture position lens memories. So on that lens 1, we've got 16:9, and on the lens 2 button, we have the 2.35:1 aspect ratio set up. Now, quite a few Netflix series actually use a 2.0:1 aspect ratio. So we can set that up by finding a Netflix series that is in the 2.0 aspect ratio. So here I've chosen Squid Game. And I'm going to leave that on screen and use the zoom and the shift functions to position that so the top and the bottom of that image just skim the top and bottom of the screen. So we have small black bars to the left and right. Make sure we focus this as well. Once we've got this in focus and positioned correctly, we're now going to add the blanking again. So that's back into the menu, select blanking again, which is up in the installation section. So we're just going to mask the top and the bottom again so nothing can spill off the screen. Once this is done, we're going to go to the memory section and we're going to save this memory into memory 3. So now we have a Netflix setting. I've gone back to the static image here and I'm going to just check those out. So first I've chosen the 16:9, and as you can see there's now bigger bars to the left and right. And of course we can also rename our memory 3, and I'm going to call this one Netflix. So for the position 3, you actually have to press the memory button and load it from there, as you don't have a fast access button. And there's our Netflix position.
If you found this video useful, don't forget to give us a like and a subscribe. If you've got any questions, put them down in the comment section. Thanks for watching.